For decades, millions of Americans have been told there's one perfect age to claim Social Security. Wait until 67. No, wait until 70. Others swear you should grab it the second you turn 62 before the government changes the rules. The problem is, most of that advice completely falls apart once you look at how Social Security actually works. Every year, people leave thousands of dollars on the table because they followed blanket advice that didn't match their own situation. Worse yet, many don't realize they have options after they've already filed. By the time they discover the truth, they think it's too late. In many cases, it isn't. The first thing you need to understand is that there isn't one claiming age that magically works for everyone. Social Security gives you several different starting points depending on the type of benefit you're collecting. And that's where people begin making costly mistakes. Retirement benefits generally become available at 62, but surviving spouses can qualify as early as age 60. If that surviving spouse is disabled, benefits can begin at age 50. Those rules have been sitting there for years, yet countless people never hear about them until they've already missed months or even years of benefits they could have received. That's money they earned through a lifetime of work, and too many families never collect it simply because nobody explained the rules clearly. Then comes the question everyone asks. Should you claim at 62, wait until full retirement age, or hold out until 70? People love to throw around opinions as if they're facts, but the reality is much different. Nobody, not your neighbor, not your financial advisor, not even Social Security, can tell you with certainty which decision will make you the most money. The only time anyone will know the perfect answer is after your life is already over. Until then, every decision is based on probabilities, not guarantees. That's why blindly repeating, "always wait until 70" can be just as dangerous as telling everyone to file at 62. Yes, waiting has advantages. Once you reach your full retirement age, your benefit continues growing by roughly 8% each year until age 70. On paper, that sounds like an easy decision. A benefit worth $1,000 at full retirement age grows to roughly $1,240 by waiting those extra 3 years. That's a significant increase, and for married couples, it can also increase future survivor benefits if one spouse passes away first. But that doesn't automatically mean waiting is the smartest move. If your health is declining, if your family has a history of shorter life expectancy, or if you simply need the income today, those delayed credits may never outweigh the checks you gave up while waiting. Health may be one of the biggest factors people ignore. If you're struggling with serious medical conditions at 62, waiting another 8 years to maximize your benefit could mean sacrificing years of payments you may never live long enough to collect. On the other hand, if your parents lived into their 90s and longevity runs throughout your family, delaying your claim may produce substantially more lifetime income. That's why treating everyone the same simply doesn't work. Your decision should reflect your health, your finances, your family history, and your overall retirement plan, not somebody else's opinion. Then there's another piece of the puzzle that's constantly overlooked: your family. If you have children under 18, a child who became disabled before age 22, or a spouse waiting to claim benefits on your record, delaying your own claim could cost your household far more than you realize. Many people become so focused on maximizing their own monthly check that they forget other family members may qualify once they begin collecting. In those situations, filing earlier can unlock benefits for multiple people instead of just one. Suddenly, the math changes completely, and what looked like a smaller retirement check may actually produce far more income for the entire family. There's another factor that deserves far more attention than it's getting, and that's taxes. Every time you turn on the television, someone is promising to eliminate taxes on Social Security. It makes for a great campaign slogan, but promises don't change the law. As things stand today, if your income is high enough, your Social Security benefits can still be taxable. That means your claiming strategy shouldn't just be about when you collect. It should also be about how those benefits fit into the rest of your retirement income. Ignore the tax side of the equation, and you could end up giving back more money than you expected. Then there's the issue almost nobody wanted to talk about until recently: the future of Social Security itself. For decades, Congress has known the program was heading toward financial trouble, yet year after year, the conversation gets pushed down the road. According to current projections, if lawmakers fail to act, future benefits could be reduced across the board. Whether Congress ultimately fixes the problem or not isn't the point. The point is that many retirees are no longer assuming everything will work itself out. Some are deciding to claim earlier, simply because they'd rather collect the benefits they've earned today than gamble on promises about tomorrow. Whether that's the right decision depends entirely on your circumstances, but it's become a factor that more Americans are beginning to weigh seriously. Now let's talk about something that surprises almost everyone. What if you've already filed and realized you made the wrong decision? Most people think they're stuck forever. That's not necessarily true. If you've been receiving retirement benefits for less than 12 months, you may have the option to withdraw your application. Think of it as hitting the reset button, but there's a catch that catches plenty of people off guard. You have to repay every dollar you've already received. Once you do, it's as if your original application never happened, allowing you to file again later when it makes more sense. It's not an option everyone can afford, but if you claimed too early and your financial situation changes, it's a rule worth knowing before you assume there's no way back. Another area filled with confusion is the earnings limit before full retirement age. People constantly hear that once they start collecting Social Security, they can no longer work. That's simply not true. You absolutely can work. The real issue is how much you earn. If your wages exceed the annual earnings limit, Social Security temporarily withholds part of your benefits. Unfortunately, many retirees panic when they see checks disappear and assume the government has taken their money forever. That's not what happens. Once you reach full retirement age, Social Security recalculates your benefit to account for those withheld months. In other words, those reductions aren't necessarily gone forever. They're part of a much bigger calculation that most people never bother to understand. And that's exactly why so many unnecessary rumors continue spreading. The mistakes don't stop there. Thousands of people delay contacting Social Security because they think they need every document in hand before making an appointment. While they're waiting on a birth certificate, a marriage certificate, or divorce paperwork, valuable months of benefits can quietly slip away. In many situations, simply contacting Social Security and establishing what's known as a protective filing date can preserve your eligibility while you gather the remaining documents. That's a small step that can make a surprisingly large financial difference. Yet many retirees don't hear about it until after they've already lost benefits they can't recover. One group that especially needs to pay attention is married couples with younger children. Most people only calculate their own retirement check, completely overlooking the possibility that children and spouses may also qualify once benefits begin. Suddenly, waiting for a larger monthly payment doesn't always produce the best financial outcome. In some cases, filing earlier unlocks additional family benefits that far outweigh the increase you'd receive by waiting until age 70. That's why there's no universal claiming age. Every family has a different financial picture, different health concerns, different earnings, and different people depending on those benefits. The biggest mistake you can make is assuming someone else's strategy automatically fits your life. Social Security isn't a one-size-fits-all program, and treating it that way has cost Americans billions of dollars in missed benefits over the years. Before you decide when to file, look beyond the monthly payment. Consider your health, your family's needs, your tax situation, your work plans, and even the possibility of changing course if you discover you've made the wrong decision. The people who get the most out of Social Security usually aren't the ones chasing the biggest check. They're the ones who understand the rules before they make one of the most important retirement decisions of their lives.